Let's just take a minute and talk about the story of George Wilson. He was a train robber with friends in high places. So after robbing a train and being caught, he was given a life sentence. But he had friends in high places who appealed to President Andrew Jackson, and he was given a pardon to spare his life. However, the pardon was written in such a way where his life would be spared, but subsequent crimes not related to that one that spares his life, it doesn't hold any accountability for. So George Wilson does something that most people think is unthinkable. He refused his presidential pardon, and the case went up to the Supreme Court in 1833. And the Supreme Court ruled that a pardon is property. Yes, pardons are property. So pardons can be refused. You can't make someone take a pardon. Well, Jesus has pardoned our sins, and he's promised us to give the abundant life. However, not everyone walks in the abundant life. A lot of us think that he was talking about abundance of things, but he was talking about an abundant life, which means a better life, a better way of living. Contextually, John chapter 10 is about Jesus being the good shepherd, and that those who are his sheep hear his voice and follow him and don't follow others. So the abundant life is connected to our ability to follow Jesus as the chief shepherd. Yes, right. We're following Jesus. What Jesus says when we go out, what Jesus said when we come in. And he causes us to lie down in green pastures. He leads us beside the still waters. He restores our soul. Everything that Psalm 23 said about him, even that he leads us into dark places for his name's sake. Yea, even though I go into the valley of shadow of death. So the abundant life doesn't mean the avoiding the problems. It means following the shepherd. And when we follow the shepherd, we can't fail. When we live the abundant life, we can't fail. It's not about our personal prosperity, status, or past accomplishments. It's about Jesus enriching our life with the Spirit, with joy, and with his purpose. If you look back in the 12th century, wealth meant health, peace, and wholeness. Right now, today's thing of wealth is just money. But it wasn't the money, it was the lifestyle that it could bring you. And sometimes some of us don't have a lot, but we're wealthy because we have a good shepherd. So remember, be stable, not spectacular. We're not trying for a legend. We're trying to have a legacy for our children. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 23 says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. So in the abundant life that Christ gives, it's like the pardon. It's a property. It's something you only receive when you follow Jesus Christ. I know I want to live that abundant life. How are you following? God bless.